Hi, my name is Marcia Cheney. I'm here today to talk to you about hearing loss and to demonstrate the Niosh hearing loss simulator. Hearing loss simulators are important tools that allow people to experience what it would be like to suffer from damaged hearing caused by loud noises. During this demonstration, the hearing damage I will focus on most is hearing loss, but tinnitus, which is a constant ringing or buzzing in the ears, can also be simulated by this software. Noise-induced hearing loss is caused by exposure to loud noises, 85 decibels or louder. The louder the noise, the less time you can spend in it without hearing protection before permanent damage occurs. Farmers are often exposed to loud equipment and livestock for long periods of time, putting them at higher risk for noise-induced hearing loss. Living with hearing loss can lead to physical, mental, and social problems as the ability to communicate with others and hear sounds in the environment diminishes. Because noise-induced hearing loss happens so slowly, it often goes unnoticed for years. It can be hard to motivate people, especially young people, to protect their hearing. But using a hearing loss simulator allows us to demonstrate the effects of noise exposure on hearing without experiencing an actual noise-induced hearing loss. Young farmers have indicated that it does motivate them to use hearing protection. The Niosh hearing loss simulator is available free for download from their webpage. It's simple to install and opens to a dashboard that is easy to use. And with that, let's move on to the demonstration. We'll start with a quick tour of the dashboard. In the upper left-hand corner of the dashboard is the audio control panel, used to control audio playback. The buttons in the top row control playback of the foreground sound. We usually choose a human voice in the foreground because human speech is the most complex and important sound that most people need to perceive. The buttons in the bottom row control playback of the background sound. Background sounds can tax a listener's ability to hear and understand the intended message. The hearing loss simulator comes with a choice of several types of background sounds, including some recorded worksite sounds and some more generic background noises. You can also add your own recorded sounds by adding WAV or MP3 files to the simulator's Sounds folder. If you forget which sounds you have selected, you will find them displayed across the bottom of the screen. The slider to the right of the audio controls is the speech-to-noise ratio. This control affects the loudness of the background noise relative to the foreground sound. You can use this to demonstrate how increasing background noise interferes more with understanding the speech in the foreground. Below the audio control panel is the graphical display. The two graphical displays show the instantaneous levels of sounds across the frequency spectrum. The upper display reflects the foreground sound, and the lower display reflects the background sound. This is useful for showing the relative amounts of low and high frequency sound in the recording. So, a female voice will show higher peak levels in the bars towards the right side of the graph than a male voice would. These displays also show the loss of high frequency information when noise-induced hearing loss is simulated. On the upper right side of the dashboard is the hearing loss panel, which is used to apply and remove a number of preset levels of high frequency hearing losses. Today we're going to focus on None, which displays the selected sounds without any hearing loss applied, Mild, Moderate, and Moderate to Severe, which apply increasingly severe levels of noise-induced hearing loss to the sounds being played. There are also options that allow you to input variables to customize the type of hearing loss you'd like to demonstrate. If you select Predicted Exposure and Age Effects, you can add information about gender, years of exposure, age, and level of sound exposure. Choosing Manual activates the frequency band slider so that you can apply the type of hearing loss you want to demonstrate manually. We will not be exploring these custom options in detail for this demonstration. Now let's start simulating. For each simulation, I will demonstrate one or more of the features in the Niosh hearing loss simulator. Our first simulation is a female voice in the foreground with babble, male and female, in the background. This simulates a conversation in a crowd, perhaps in a restaurant or at a wedding reception or other party. Social activities become harder to participate in as you experience hearing loss, leading to feelings of isolation. I will start the simulation with no hearing loss, then progress through the mild, moderate, and moderately severe levels of hearing loss, and then return to the no hearing loss setting.
You can prevent hearing loss by keeping away from loud noise. Wear earmuffs, earplugs, or other hearing protection whenever you're around loud sounds. Loud noise causes permanent hearing loss. A high-frequency hearing loss makes it difficult to understand conversations. A hearing test or audiogram helps find any unusual changes in your hearing. Off-the-job noise is just as dangerous as noise on the job. The loudness of noise is measured in decibels. If noise is louder than 85 decibels, it can cause hearing loss.
For the next simulation, we'll choose a male voice for the foreground sound and a cattle auction for the background. This simulation will demonstrate the value in moving away from loud sounds. Listen for the changes in the speech-to-noise ratio. As the balance shifts to the left, the speech is more easily understood, like it would be when you moved away from a noisy area.
You can prevent hearing loss by keeping away from loud noise. Wear earmuffs, earplugs, or other hearing protection whenever you're around loud sounds. Loud noise causes permanent hearing loss. A high-frequency hearing loss makes it difficult to understand conversations. A hearing test or audiogram helps find any unusual changes in your hearing. Off-the-job noise is just as dangerous as noise on the job. The loudness of noise is louder than 85 decibels can cause hearing loss.
Young agricultural workers report that listening to music is very important to them. This simulation demonstrates how the sound quality of music changes as hearing loss progresses. Our final simulation will demonstrate the experience of living with tinnitus. Young farmers have told us that understanding what it would be like to have trouble hearing their future children or grandchildren talking may motivate them to wear hearing protection more often. Remember, tinnitus can exist with or without hearing loss, so we will step through the levels of hearing loss as you listen to a young child telling a story.
One of the inventors, one of Blossom's inventors, when he went up to see something new, and there was a T-Rex stomping by that was hungry, and he heard it, so he closed her eyes and carved out her throat, and the T-Rex didn't notice it because there's a flower patch nearby, and the T-Rex thought it was just a flower, so went by her.
I hope you found these simulations useful and that you'll add the Niosh hearing loss simulator to your training and outreach toolbox. I would be remiss if I left you without the information you need to prevent noise-induced hearing loss. There are 3 ways to protect your hearing from damage due to noise. Turn down the volume when you can. This is especially important when wearing headphones or earbuds. Move away from the noise. If you don't need to be that close, take a few steps back. Increasing the distance between you and the source of noise can make a big difference in the sound pressure on your ears. Wear hearing protection. If you need to stay in a loud environment, protect your ears by wearing earplugs or earmuffs. There are a wide variety of options available, and they each have their pros and cons. The best choice is the hearing protection that fits you and that you will wear. Thanks for listening today. If you have any questions or would like more information, feel free to email me or to visit our website at www.gpcah.org.